You are living in a world of glass. Every word you speak is recorded. Every email is archived. Every text message can be screenshotted and used as evidence in the court of public opinion or the court of law. In this hyper-surveilled reality, the hard insult is a reckless endeavor. When you scream at your enemy, you lose. When you call them a name, you lose. When you attack them openly, you hand them a weapon. You give them the moral high ground. You allow them to play the victim, and in the modern world, the victim is the most powerful role on the chessboard. The victim gets sympathy, the victim gets HR on their side, the victim gets the crowd. If you attack openly, you are not a warlord. You are a barbarian, and barbarians always get slaughtered by the disciplined army. Sun Tzu says, "Subtle and insubstantial, the expert leaves no trace. Divinely mysterious, he is inaudible. Thus he is master of the enemy's fate." To master the enemy's fate in the modern era, you must master the art of the soft insult. You must master the weapon of plausible deniability. This is the art of cutting your enemy without drawing blood. It is the art of planting a seed of doubt in their mind that grows into a tree of insecurity, all while you maintain the facade of a polite, concerned, and professional ally. It is the strategy of the smiling assassin. Today we are going to teach you how to wage war without ever declaring it. We are going to teach you how to destroy an enemy's confidence, status, and reputation while remaining completely untouchable. Welcome to the doctrine of plausible deniability. Let's dismantle the psychology of the insult. A primitive insult targets the person's identity directly. You are stupid. You are ugly. You are incompetent. This is low IQ warfare. It triggers a fight-or-flight response. The enemy knows they have been attacked, so they put up their shields. They fight back. It creates a conflict that is visible to everyone. The soft insult targets the gap. It targets the space between what is said and what is meant. It relies on the ambiguity of language. When you execute a perfect soft insult, the enemy feels the pain, but they cannot prove you hurt them. If they accuse you, they look crazy. They look paranoid. They look oversensitive. You have trapped them in a double bind. If they stay silent, they swallow the poison. If they speak up, they look like a lunatic. This is the ultimate position of power. You are holding the knife, but your fingerprints are nowhere to be found. Sun Tzu teaches us that all warfare is based on deception. The soft insult is a deception. It deceives the audience into thinking you are kind while signaling to the target that they are beneath you. Let's analyze the machinery of the concern troll. This is one of the most lethal weapons in your arsenal because it cloaks aggression in the armor of empathy. In the corporate world, aggression is punished, but empathy is rewarded. Therefore, if you can disguise your attack as empathy, you become invincible. Scenario: you have a colleague who is competing with you for a promotion. They are ambitious. They are working late. They are trying to look like a hero. The barbarian would say, "Stop trying so hard, you look desperate." That makes you look jealous. The warlord uses the concern troll. You approach them in a meeting, in front of the boss. You look them in the eye with deep, genuine sadness. You say, "I'm actually really worried about you. You look exhausted lately. Are you sure you aren't taking on too much? I don't want you to burn out like last time." Analyze the layers of this strike. On the surface, you are a caring friend. You are worried. You are looking out for their health. HR would give you a medal. But below the surface, you have delivered 3 fatal blows. First, you look exhausted. This is a physical status attack. You are telling the room that they look weak, tired, and unpresentable. Second, are you sure you aren't taking on too much? This questions their competence. It implies they are struggling to handle their current workload, so how could they possibly handle a promotion? Third, like last time, this is the kill shot. You have subtly reminded the room of a past failure without explicitly stating what it was. You have painted them as unstable and fragile, and the beauty of it is that they cannot fight back. If they get angry and say, "I'm fine, stop undermining me," they prove your point. They look unstable. They look exhausted. You can simply raise your hands in surrender and say, "Whoa, relax. I was just trying to help, see? You're snapping at me. You really do need a break." You have used their reaction to validate your insult. You have dug a pit, and they walked right into it. This strategy works because it exploits the social contract. The social contract dictates that when someone offers help or concern, we must be grateful. By weaponizing help, you force the enemy to either accept the insult in the lowered status or break the social contract and look like a jerk. It is checkmate. Let's move to the tactic of the Forgetful Emperor. In any hierarchy, attention is the currency of power. We remember the people who are above us. We forget the people who are below us. The king does not remember the name of the peasant. The CEO does not remember the name of the intern. Therefore, forgetting is a power move. When you forget someone, you are not just having a memory lapse. You are sending a signal. You are signaling you are not significant enough to occupy space in my brain. This is the amnesia attack. Scenario: you are at a networking event. You see a rival you have met 3 times. They approach you. They smile. They expect recognition. The warlord strategy. You smile back politely, but with a blank stare. You extend your hand. You say, "Hi, remind me of your name again?" Watch the light leave their eyes. Watch their ego collapse. They have to say their name. They have to reintroduce themselves to you. In that moment, they are petitioning for your attention. You have established that you are the protagonist of this reality, and they are an extra. You can escalate this. Use the wrong name tactic. Call them by a name that is slightly less prestigious than their own. If their name is Michael, call them Mikey. If they are a senior director, introduce them as a manager. When they correct you, actually it's director, you execute the dismissive correction. You say, right, director. Sorry, it's hard to keep track of all the titles. It's hard to keep track. Translation: your title is trivial to me. Your hierarchy is a game I do not play. This destroys the narcissist. The narcissist runs on significance. By denying them significance, you starve them. You deny them the supply they crave. And because it is framed as a mistake, they cannot accuse you of malice. Oh, he just forgot. No, you didn't forget. You deleted. Sun Tzu says, appear at points which the enemy must hasten to defend. The enemy must hasten to defend their intelligence. The intellectual battlefield is where the most savage soft insults take place. This is the domain of the Socratic Sniper. The Socratic Sniper does not call the enemy stupid. The Socratic Sniper asks questions that reveal the enemy's stupidity. When someone proposes a bad idea in a meeting, do not say, that is a bad idea. That creates resistance. That makes it you versus them. Instead, put on the mask of the curious student. Lean forward, furrow your brow. Say, that's an interesting perspective. I want to make sure I understand. How exactly does that math work if our budget is cut by 20%? Walk me through that. Walk me through that. You are handing them the chalk and asking them to solve the equation on the board, knowing they do not know the answer. You are watching them struggle. You are watching them stutter. You are watching them realize in real time that their idea is garbage. And you are doing it all with a tone of, help me understand. You are positioning yourself as someone who wants to be convinced, but the numbers just aren't adding up. This shifts the dynamic. You are not the attacker, you are the auditor. They are not the victim, they are the failed student. The room watches them fail, and they attribute the failure to the idea, not to your aggression. You remain clean. Let's discuss the exclusionary praise. This is a tactic of isolation. Sun Tzu teaches us to divide the enemy, to separate the general from his men. In a group setting, if you want to lower the status of one person, you do not attack them. You praise everyone else. Scenario: you are at a dinner with 4 people. One of them is your rival. You go around the table. You compliment person A on their recent success. You compliment person B on their outfit. You compliment person C on their humor. And then you turn to the rival, and you say nothing. You just smile and ask for the salt. The silence is deafening. The absence of praise is louder than an insult. It creates a vacuum. The rival feels the cold wind of exclusion. They wonder, why didn't he say anything to me? Does he not like me? Am I not worthy of praise? Paranoia sets in. They start to perform. They start to try harder to impress you. They start to chase your validation. And once they are chasing you, you have won. You are the prize, they are the suitor. This works even better in professional emails. You send an email to the team. Great job to Sarah for the data, great job to Mike for the graphics, and thanks to John for submitting the final report. Sarah and Mike got great job. John got thanks. The difference is subtle, but John feels it. John knows he is at the bottom of the totem pole. And if John complains, "Why didn't I get a great job?" He looks petty. He looks like a child demanding a gold star. Plausible deniability allows you to torture the ego of your enemy while maintaining the posture of a saint. Now let us enter the terrain of the status decoy. This is used against those who try to flaunt their wealth or status. The braggart, the flexer, the person who needs you to know they have a Rolex. The barbarian says, "Stop showing off, nobody cares." This shows envy. The warlord uses the status decoy. You misunderstand their flex as a cry for help or a sign of poverty. Scenario: they show you their new, flashy, expensive watch. They want you to say, "Wow, that's amazing, you're so rich." The warlord strategy: you look at the watch, you squint. You say, "Oh, nice, is that the new replica? My cousin has the same one. The fakes are getting really good these days." Watch their face melt. They have to scream, "It's real. I paid $20,000 for this." But the damage is done. You have associated their status symbol with a fake. You have tainted it. Even if they prove it's real, the doubt hangs in the air. Or use the frugality frame. They pull up in a brand new loud sports car. They want admiration. You say, "Wow, that's a bold choice. I admire that you don't care about resale value or gas mileage. It's brave to just burn money like that for fun." Brave. You called them brave for making a bad financial decision. You reframe their luxury as stupidity. You reframe their flex as financial irresponsibility. You didn't attack the car. You attacked the judgment behind the car while pretending to admire their bravery. The soft insult is also the primary weapon in the arsenal of the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is the person who controls access. When you want to remind someone that they are an outsider, you use the in-group code. You use jargon they don't know. You reference inside jokes they weren't part of. You talk about events they weren't invited to. "Oh, this is just like that time in Cabo. You remember, right, Mike?" "Oh, sorry, target name. You weren't there yet. That was before you joined." Before you joined. Translation: you are new. You are temporary. We have history. You have nothing. This reminds them of their lack of tenure. It reminds them that they are a guest in your house. It triggers the primal fear of exile. But you must be careful. Sun Tzu warns. There are roads which must not be followed, armies which must not be attacked, towns which must not be besieged. You must know who you are attacking. If you use a soft insult on a high-value warlord, they will see it. They will recognize the tactic, and they will escalate. If you try to concern troll a warlord, you look tired. They will not defend. They will not say, "I'm fine." They will use the agree and amplify, or the literal interpretation. They will look at you and say, "I am tired. Carrying the weight of the entire department is exhausting. How are you so rested? Is your workload light?" Boom, they just took your soft insult, caught it, and threw it back as a hard insult. They framed your concern as an admission that you do not work hard. So how do you defend against the soft insult? How do you stop someone who is using plausible deniability against you? You have two options. Option one, the spotlight. You force them to explain the joke. You remove the ambiguity. Them, "That's a brave outfit." You, "What do you mean by brave?" Them, "Oh, it's bold." You, "Bold in what way? Help me understand." You play dumb. You force them to either say it's ugly, which makes them the aggressor, or retreat and say, "Oh, nothing, just nice," which makes them submit. Ambiguity dies under the spotlight. When you ask, "What do you mean?" you are turning on the lights in a dark room. The roaches scatter. Option two, the interpretation of charity. You accept the statement at its literal, positive value, and you ignore the subtext. You refuse to hear the insult. Them, "You look tired." You, "I feel great." Just had a fantastic workout this morning. I'm full of energy. You reject their reality and substitute your own. They tried to frame you as weak. You framed yourself as strong. Their insult bounces off your shield. You didn't fight them. You just didn't let their poison land. Why is this important? Why do we spend time learning the dark arts of the insult? Because the world is not a meritocracy. The world is a political arena. People are not promoted because they are the best workers. They are promoted because they are perceived as leaders. And leaders act with high status. If you allow people to nip at your heels with soft insults, you signal low status. You signal that you can be bitten. But if you react with anger, you signal that you are emotional and unstable. The soft insult allows you to police your boundaries without losing your cool. It allows you to check a disrespectful person without causing a scene. It is the tool of the diplomat who carries a dagger. It allows you to maintain the moral law that Sun Tzu speaks of. The moral law causes the people to be in complete accord with their ruler. If you are seen as weak, your people will not follow you. If you are seen as a tyrant who screams, your people will hate you. But if you are seen as a sharp, witty, dangerous operator who can dismantle an ego with a smile, your people will respect you, and they will fear you just enough to stay loyal. Let's go deeper into the praise sandwich of destruction. This is used for performance reviews or feedback. The barbarian says, "This work is bad." The warlord says, "I really love your enthusiasm. It's so refreshing to see someone try so hard." Next time, let's try to focus a bit more on accuracy and a little less on speed, okay? But really great energy. Translation: you are incompetent. Your work is inaccurate. You are rushing. You are an amateur. Enthusiasm is for amateurs. Precision is for pros. But they leave the meeting feeling patted on the head. They know they were corrected, but they can't be mad at you because you complimented their energy. You treated them like a puppy. Treating an adult like a child is the ultimate dominance hierarchy move. It is infantilization. When you infantilize an enemy, you strip them of their power. You make them cute. You make them harmless. Oh, look at him getting all worked up. It's adorable. If you say this in the middle of an argument, you win instantly. You have framed their rage as a tantrum. You have framed yourself as the parent. The parent controls the child. The child does not control the parent. Sun Tzu says, "He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight." The soft insult is the weapon for when not to fight. It is for the cocktail party, the board meeting, the family Thanksgiving dinner. These are terrains where open combat is forbidden. If you draw a sword at Thanksgiving, you are the bad guy. But if you poison the gravy and nobody sees you do it, you win. Consider the comparison insult. "You remind me so much of my first assistant. She struggled with the exact same things you do." You have compared them to a subordinate assistant. You have framed their current struggle as a beginner's struggle. You have implied you have moved far beyond that stage. You are the mentor. They are the struggling novice. History is written by the victor. In a social interaction, history is written by the person who controls the frame. The frame is the lens through which reality is viewed. The soft insult sets the frame. If I ask, "Are you okay? You seem shaky," I have set the frame that you are unstable. You now have to fight your way out of that frame. If I say, "I assume you didn't see the email because I know you wouldn't ignore it on purpose," I have set the frame that you are either incompetent, didn't see it, or malicious, ignored it. I have trapped you. This is presupposition. I presuppose a reality that is negative for you, and I hide it in a polite sentence. The master of plausible deniability operates in the fog. Sun Tzu says, "The enemy must not know where I intend to give battle." They don't know if you are their friend or their enemy. They suspect you hate them, but you are so nice to their face. This cognitive dissonance drives them insane. They spend hours analyzing your texts. What did he mean by good luck? Why did she put a period at the end of that sentence? You are living in their head rent-free. You are consuming their mental bandwidth. While they are obsessing over your subtle jabs, you are working, you are building, you are conquering. You are stealing their energy and using it to fuel your own empire. The ultimate goal of this strategy is not cruelty, it is efficiency. Cruelty is messy. Cruelty creates feuds. Efficiency removes obstacles. The soft insult removes the obstacle of a rival's confidence. It removes the obstacle of their status. It clears the path for you to ascend. You must become comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. After you deliver a soft insult, do not fill the silence. Remind me of your name again? Silence. Let them squirm in the gap. The power is in the pause. The pause says, I am waiting for you to comply. The warlord does not rush. The warlord waits. Remember the double meaning. You're really confident. This can mean you have high self-esteem, or it can mean you are arrogant and have no self-awareness. Say it with a flat tone. Let them decide which one it is. If they are insecure, they will hear the insult. If they are arrogant, they will hear the compliment. Either way, you have fed them the pill that fits their pathology. Sun Tzu teaches us that the greatest victory is that which requires no battle. By mastering the soft insult, you avoid the battle. You neutralize the threat before it becomes a war. You keep your hands clean. You keep your reputation pristine. But everyone in the room knows not to mess with you. They know that you have a sharp tongue hidden behind the velvet curtain. They respect the danger. In conclusion, stop barking. A dog barks, a lion stares. Stop trying to prove you are tough by being loud. Real power is quiet. Real power is subtle. Real power is looking at your enemy with a smile and saying, I hope you find the peace you are looking for. Translation, you are a chaotic mess and I pity you. Go forth and be plausible. Be deniable. Be dangerous. Construct your sentences like traps. Dig your pits with empathy and watch your enemies fall into them while thanking you for the help. This is the art of the soft insult. On this channel, we cover a wide range of topics like the one in this video. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, we may never see each other again. See you again soon.